Hey everyone, welcome to the latest Webisode. I'm actually just at my mate Lauren's house because whilst we're getting all of the bike stuff done, Calvin's building the bike, I'm having a crack at a few bits. There is actually a lot of other stuff that we actually need to do to be able to give this bike away, and one of those things is a press release. Now, you guys have most definitely heard about my friend Lauren. Lauren is a PR whiz. I mean, she's been mad supportive of us for as long as we've known each other, and just an absolute fucking legend. Hang on, here's a photo of Lauren. Aww. And Lauren's just getting her hair done. What?
Hi, way to out me.
No, it was just a little quick one. We'll wait until you're done. But we're just gonna crack on with this press release, because the press release is going to be a big part of it, because we've got to be able to basically just show that we're not complete idiots, which is not going to be easy, which is where Lauren comes in to make us not look like complete idiots and somewhat know what we're doing. And we can't do that on our own, and that's why we've got Lauren.
Like this.
Oh, you want to sit there?
So I'll sit here. Like that.
It's already recording.
Oh no!
No, it's good, I like it. It's
You
funny.
fucker. That's what I ordered at Bunnings today.
Yeah.
Cool. Sit.
Oh yeah, we need to get better photos. Oh yeah, my buddy Brad from Upcycle has offered to do us some photos, so when Calvin's up next we'll get some good photos.
Cool, yeah. I've put this here as a placeholder for now, so you can sort of see how it comes together.
I don't know if you guys will see this by the time this video comes out. Probably not, but like that's what we're working on kind of behind the scenes, because it's just like getting our like corporate ducks in a row, which is something that we're not good at because we've never really had to think about that sort of stuff.
It's just more so learning how to succinctly communicate, because like humans, okay, survive till 25, right? Let's take it right back to us all just being so time poor. Media journalists are exactly the same. So like, think about your media release as your elevator pitch. Like, you have such a short amount of time to capture someone's attention and explain exactly what it is. And to be honest, by there, you need to have told it all. And then you start to go into the quotes, which you are.
And I guess that's another thing that you touched on when we talked about this in the past. Obviously, the background of all of this is supporting mental health through the love of motorcycles. And my mental health journey has been bad, and even lately it's been bad. And we're touching on some pretty sensitive subjects, and we need to do that in a way that is not, like, whilst wanting to be open and honest, obviously we don't want to glorify any really stupid ideas. And I guess, and that's where you come in, because you know how to talk to people really well.
Yeah, it's about taking it back to what like your message is, right? And I guess I did a little bit about I've sort of spoken about my mental health out in the media as well, and that was like, while it's absolutely my job to advise clients day to day, all of this sort of stuff, it's different when it's, you know, your own self. So when I wrote about getting diagnosed with ADHD at 27, that was difficult for me to sort of like pull that story together in a way that's, I mean, I suppose it's different. It's sort of different what we're both talking about, the sort of different sides of the mental health scale. But, you know, you can't, for me, like, I can't say, wow, like, Ritalin, go take Ritalin, because I'm not a doctor, right? And it's all about, you know, seeing the professionals and trusting sort of some of the medical guardrails that are in place. Well, a lot of the time it does feel like you're putting a stick into your bike wheel and like falling over, you know. I think what it comes down to is the more that people like you and I talk openly about our mental health and what we've been through, because we're strong enough to do it now, the more it helps other people. And so I think it's so important what you guys are doing.
And I think that's the crux of all of this, is if there's one undertone to take away from it, is that like all of us that have been involved, particularly Big Nick and I, have, because we've had our struggles we found so much community and support within the motorcycle community, and that's not just from being on a bike. That's from like going to bike meets and making friends. When you're out riding, being able to have deep conversations with people that actually give a shit about you. But then even the little things of like, man, I don't want to sit at home all night and doom scroll and get into a bad loop. I'm going to go and service my bike or fit that new part or fix something that's broken, right? Or make it better, or like tinker, you know? And like that's all part of what this is trying to pull together as an idea.
Making your brain and your hands busy is such an important way to distract yourself from what you're mentally going through. Like when you arrived just now, I was out in the garden, like covered in dirt, smelly and sweaty. Because like for me, gardening is also one of those things that helps me with my mental health. It's a gift from past me to future me. It keeps me in the present, and much like motorbiking for you, out in the sunshine with fresh air. Like that's a huge thing. Obviously, men's mental health is such a complicated and touchy subject because there has ultimately been a huge mental health movement recently, right? Like,
I think there's still a lot of work to do.
Oh, 100%, especially when it comes to men, because there is so much sort of stigma around men talking about when they're struggling, and there's nothing worse for someone who's struggling than not being able to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, nothing changes, nothing gets better, right?
Exactly.
And so for someone, like, you're incredibly brave, your community is incredibly brave for being open and talking about mental health. And honestly, if you have a therapist and you're a man, you're a very attractive person, right? Like, that is top tier. If you go to therapy, what a delicious potential person, you know? That's so I'm the worst. Yeah, I mean, on a personal note, one of our colleagues sadly committed suicide about a few weeks, a month ago now, and that just destroyed us, like absolutely destroyed us, and we had no idea he was struggling. And yeah, it's you just wish that someone would have had the strength to talk about it. So by even talking about this subject and being able to sort of pique people's not almost curiosity and go, okay, well, some of these symptoms are things that I might be feeling, like feeling helpless, feeling like nothing's going to change, feeling like an impending sense of doom. Like these, you shouldn't feel that way. That's not a normal way for healthy human brains to feel.
Isn't it?
Yeah, well, no, it's not, but that's because you and I have the same brains. I have depression, I have anxiety, and I have combined type ADHD, but that's why I take my antidepressants and my Ritalin, etc., because that's what I've been prescribed to by the health professionals that I've talked to again and again and again. And sometimes you really, unfortunately, do have to advocate for yourself in the mental health system, which sucks, because there's nothing worse than when you're feeling your absolute lowest, is knowing how to navigate a system with health professionals that they should be the ones to lead you into.
Yeah.
It's hard to find these resources. So Gumboot Friday, absolutely head to their website. I'm sure they'll have incredible resources on their website. That's quite male focused as well. Suicide happens to all genders, obviously, but yeah, I think it's incredibly important to talk to your friends, talk to your family, you know.
And I guess that's kind of with this is, I mean, obviously, you know, you look at suicide and you think, okay, that's worst case scenario, but like way further back in that timeline is that environment about being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
And like even in the last couple of months, I've noticed people are coming up to me when I'm actually sacking up and pushing through the anxiety to go and see people. Is they're like, how are you? Like, are you doing okay? Like, and actually wanting to know the answer, you know, and having a community like that.
It's hard to find that. And it's, sometimes you have to look at your friendships and go, do I walk away from this scenario feeling better than when I walked into it? And it's those people who actually do want to hear about how you are and support you, whether you're up, whether you're down. Those are also things that you need to listen to as well. Like, you can't flower in a garden bed with crack dirt, you know?
We need to get the podcast going again, man. This could go on for hours.
I have a lot of thoughts about mental health.
So, like, whilst we're sitting here and noting all this stuff out, this is stuff that you guys probably won't really see that much, because this is kind of more the business to business stuff, where, like, because one of the things I want to do is I wanted to have a charity partner to sign this off with before this goes out, which at the moment doesn't look like it's going to happen, which is unfortunate. But I wanted to get this as done as possible, because our kind of targets at the moment are the National Motorcycle Show, which by then we should have the plastics done, the frame done, the engine done, and all the painting done. So if nothing else, we can kind of put it together and show what the bike's going to look like. And I want this to be a part of it, because that's going to be our first public showing. And then that's sort of like our target. And it's, to be fair, getting closer. It's about 6-7 weeks away now. So
that happens, doesn't it? But I mean, a key thing is, you know, when is the NZ music
motorcycle?
I know music.
Where were you yesterday?
Oh my god, honestly, like I think I just. But like, when is it? How can?
6th of October.
Amazing. Is it the 5th and the 6th?
Yes.
Stunning. 5th and 6th of October, and is it at ASB Showgrounds?
As a matter of fact, it is. Are you reading the press release?
I am indeed. That's the exact type of information you want in there, is knowing where it is and how the audience can get involved.
Yeah, we'll make a lot of noise about that on social, so don't miss out. Come see the bike, come see us. I don't think we're allowed to, because it's a charity stand, we're not allowed to sell anything, so we can't do t-shirts on the day, but we can do QR codes to get you signed up. Hopefully we need to work out ticketing, how we're actually going to do that side of things. So Sean from Poor Justice, he's been helping us out with that, because he obviously does it with the Harleys that he's been giving away. A little bit different, because we're doing a 30-year-old classic that's going to be a resto mod, but yeah, there's a lot to get through, and this is a super important piece of that puzzle. So thanks, mate.
You're welcome, mate. Take care of yourself, Aotearoa. That was pretty lame, but
I liked it.
it's good.
No, it's good. I liked it.
So.
Well, we decided that we were going to have a crack at plastic welding ourselves. And as much as I would have liked to have shown you the very, very first attempt, you don't want to see that. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. It's actually a lot more simple than I thought it was, which is good. I haven't done metal welding for quite some time, and it's a similar principle, but we got this little cheapy tool, which has got like a kind of like a wedge head on it. So I'm sort of making a little crevice, and then I'm feeding in plastic as a medium, and then building it up and then smoothing it out, which seems to be going well so far, because if you remember in the last webisode, this tab was not connected at all. Now it is, and that's actually feeling pretty damn strong. So I'm happy with that, so I'm going to continue, and I'll show you what I've been doing. We've got a nice big crack down the inside of here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. It's a big crack right there. So what I'm going to attempt to do, well, firstly I need to find a good spot to actually prop this up, because everything's curved. But actually, first thing I'm going to do is tape it off on the outside so that it doesn't flex. So that's now where I want it, so now I can use my little tool that I'll heat up and carve out. This is my first time, so be gentle, okay? But if you look, I kind of just been making a little hole, fill it in, and it works sweet. Right, now I believe that to be working. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the sharp point of this and then just dig out a little bit of a channel, which It's the plan. I may burn this table, but that's fine. Now we fill it with more plastic. Well, it is the next day and I am making progress. I started sanding back just to see how I was getting on, but you can see on the inside there I've just laid up as much plastic as I can so that I can build it up and then cut it back down again, which is super fun. I definitely recommend doing this in a well ventilated area. I've got a nice big window there and a nice big open garage door there, so I've got nice little cross breeze going on. But yeah, and then so on this side there's a couple of cracks where this is sort of just beaten up over the years, so I'm just layering up as much plastic as I can so it's a bit stronger because it's actually melting in, so it's like welding it in. And it'll be stronger than just using bond or filler or anything. There's a few bits and pieces like along here where I think maybe saddlebags or something might have been stuck to it, and they've just been rubbing on it for years, so there's a few spots where there's quite deep grooves, and I'm wondering if I can fill plastic into that or if I should just let it bond. But I've given it a start of smoothing it back. But the part that I'm really happy with is I've already started filling it back in, but this tab was completely removed. So I've gone through, you can see it's just a huge amount of plastic in there. You'll never see it from the outside, so that's cool. And I may still tidy that up a bit yet. But what's cool about this is that never used to be attached. And now it's rock solid, like I can bend that, that's not going anywhere. We definitely have decided that we want to keep these logos. I think they're super cool. But yeah, certainly been fun learning a new skill and keeps me busy and occupied, which is nice. Learning stuff and whatnot. But I think kind of one of the points and one of the reasons I wanted to do this is, one, to be a part of the project, obviously, because Kelvin's doing a lot of the heavy lifting with the engine and all that sort of jazz. Well, pretty much everything. You know, and then we've got friends that are, you know, putting their hand up to help, which is awesome. But I think it sort of highlights where tinkering on your own bike is just a heck of a lot of fun and super rewarding, even when it's difficult. I mean, on my Harley there, I had to replace a battery on that, and if you've replaced a battery on a Softail, you know it's no easy feat. And it was intimidating, and I got some right tools and all that kind of jazz, and it came together well, and it all worked, and I didn't blow anything up, or myself, which is cool. And now I can sort of, you know, I can say, you know, hey, I did that, you know. And being able to work on your own stuff and, you know, in your shed like I'm honest in my garage, it's a really good feeling to be, you know, that connected to your machine. And yeah, which is why we're trying to encourage people to do the same thing. And I guess that's why, fundamentally, why we're documenting what we're doing, because it sort of shows, hey, anything's possible with a, you know, a few tools and a bit of know-how and a good attitude. So yeah. Alright team, this wasn't planned to be in the webisode, but I have, as you guys know, I have been looking at getting another motorcycle, and I was for a while looking at getting a sports bike, and then I realised that I'm an idiot and that's a bad idea. So I thought, well, what's the next most fun thing to do? And that's to go off-road, and I do like off-road bikes. So I'm going to test ride the T700, and the reason I want to test ride it just to make sure is I want to see what the power's like on the motorway, because whilst these are very capable off-road, you still got to get there, right? So that's what I want to try out. So I'm down at Cycle Spot today, having a cheeky lunchtime test ride. So I thought I would go and try this out. This is the other thing I'm considering with this bike, is how much day one stuff there is to do, because there is quite a bit, because out of the box they need a little bit. Yeah, these bars definitely need to come up a bit. So I think the thing that I'm already noticing is that I can have fun on this. Oh dear, broken leg. I can have fun on this without doing 300 kilometers an hour. And it's a different kind of fun. Like, kind of makes me think like I'm street riding BMX again, but on a dirt bike, which is pretty damn cool. Like, if you've seen the way that some of the guys that really know how to ride these ride them, both off-road but then also like the urban assault stuff, like that's kind of where I'm leaning towards with this. So I think the thing that I wanted to find out from this little test ride is basically just what's the power like for both scooting around town and getting to the places that you want to go off-road. Because I mean, I'm not going to sell my Harley, I'm going to keep that, so I've got a good bike for doing big trips and things like that. This is more for, just like I said, I've been saying in the past, you know, like it's change of scenery, change of friends, just hanging out with different crowds, doing different stuff. And I mean, this is absolutely very different, and it's been a while since I've been on a motocross bike. And I was like, well, I mean, this is about as close as you're going to get to a motocross bike without actually getting a motocross bike, and you can ride it on the road, then you can go and see some stuff. And I mean, I loved my time doing the full drive adventures, and I guess this is just that on two wheels. But yeah, ergo, geometry all feels quite good. Like, it's a bigger bike, but I'm not small. Do I look stupid? No. I mean, yes, but no. You know what? Yeah, that's enough. It's just the right amount of spice that I'm not going to get in too much trouble, but I'll have a good giggle. So at least I know that now. Let's see what we can do. Thanks for watching this Webisode, team. I forgot to film an outro, and there is more coming, and there is a lot more happening, so get subscribed if you're not already. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm pretty sure that we'll have another Webisode out before we get to the motorcycle show, which is getting close. So yeah, if you're out and about and you're actually able to get to that show, then definitely come and see us. We'd love to meet you guys.